Raise it up.
Chat Pro.
All right, everyone, we are live with the beautiful and famous Lynne G, a much anticipated interview. I'm allowed to take these off now, which is great. And Lynne, good to have you. It's a pleasure. I was super excited when they told me, you're gonna be interviewing Lynne G for the pregame. I'm like, oh, great. And I'm a little bit scared, but great. So it's always good to see you.
Thank you.
We've been friends for like 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, we've been
say.
friends for forever, so this feels like very comfortable and like natural.
They put us in a comfortable space.
Yeah.
You know, they're like,
yeah.
There's been a lot of fireworks out there. We'll get to that, of course. but I was like, yeah, Lynne G's awesome. So, how's your trip here today?
My trip here was very short, so I'm based out of LA now. Just came from work. I have a full-time job now.
No.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I think about quitting every single day, and yet I still show up day after day. But yeah, I like what I do. I don't play as much poker, and I try to stay away from poker Twitter. Obviously, sometimes I fail.
We all
have our weaknesses.
It's like we try to stay away from it, and then it's like, we can't. We need it more. We need it more.
The other thing is just like one tweet will suck me in. So I'll be good, and then boom, like the wheels just like fall off.
They fall off. Yeah, no. Then you're like tweeting people like, heads up, 2-5. I don't care.
Also, I think what I've learned is like, I think I'm done being like, I think I used to just ignore all the haters. I used to like not even like mute or block them. And now I'll block whoever, I'll just challenge whoever, because fuck you guys. Like, yeah, like don't get me wrong, I don't think I'm particularly good at poker, but also like, I'm still here. I'm like, it's not all mommies and daddy's money.
I love
so like,
it. Not all mommies and daddy's money. I still work, okay? All right, so we'll get to that. We'll get to the smoke later. All right, let's get to a little bit. All right, where did the money come from, actually? Because like we've all seen you blasting, and I'm like me and you have played some games where it was like in the private scene in LA, and I'm just like, I mean in Vegas actually, and I was like, Lynne is just so rich. She just puts on the 32.
So first off, I have a lot of DJ.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think it's good to leave some things like a bit of a mystery.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I'm happy for people to speculate.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and if they ever want to get their hands on it, I'm here in LA.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, what's the most you've ever lost in a session? Because I've seen you lose some big numbers, win some big numbers too. But what's the most you've ever lost? Yeah,
so it was just that 400 on high stakes poker. I think it's hard to lose more than that most of the time, just because like we're not playing that big.
Yeah.
My average stake is probably like 100, 200. So. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you're still balling out of control. Like that's 5 times as big as this game.
I only know a few people who can lose like more than mid 6 figures playing 1-200. Nick Airball is one of them.
Yeah. There's only like 5, right? It's only like 5.
What about you? What's your biggest loss and what's your biggest win?
My biggest loss, not 400.
That's good.
It's probably.
You should pat yourself on the back for that one.
No. It's probably like 50 ball, like a 50 ball. Nothing like in the 6-figure range. Thankfully, so far.
Good job.
But these games are getting big, so it's like it's coming, right? Yeah. It's coming. You know, it's always looming. You know, when you've been like running good a little bit, it's like, oh, it's coming. Like your time is coming.
I do feel like these games are getting a little bit more reasonable. Like, so I didn't know what I was playing today until maybe like 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to hear that it was 10, 20, 40. Like.
Well, I think this 10, 20, 40 is a new game for them. Like yesterday we were playing 24, 50, 100.
Okay.
And I played, and it was pretty big because they had the stand-up game going for the majority of the game, and it was win the button. Yeah. So those 2 games like escalated the stakes a little bit. So, but I think it's gonna be like 10, 20, 40, 80. You know, probably, maybe we'll see. Was that hand on high stakes poker your most embarrassing moment? Because like it was such, like everyone like was so like, what the hell is she doing? She back raised JRB and Tom Dwan, you know, like so walk us through like that moment, like after, not necessarily the strategy of it, I don't, whatever, who cares, but like after when you're just like, oh man, I lost doing that.
Yeah. So now it feels like a great time to shout out my new YouTube channel with Nick and Shaun. The video that we just released today, so it'll be out by the time you guys are watching this, is me kind of breaking down what I was thinking during that hand.
Oh, wow.
Was that my most embarrassing hand? It was definitely like the most public hand.
Yeah.
I think more than just like playing my cards and betting chips in an embarrassing fashion, I think like, I feel like I just made so many mistakes in poker, like, period. So when I first started, I thought it was like acceptable to like C change on the fish aggressively.
Oh,
I'm
we've
like,
all
I was
done
one
this.
of those people. Like, do you know what I mean? So, and like looking back, I cringe harder thinking about those moments than I do about like rocketing off 160. Like,
No, I agree. I'll tell you a funny story. So when I first started playing tournaments, I was in the East Coast and I was in Washington D.C. with Powers and we were in the same tournament. It was like we were in the same tournament.
Yeah.
And at this time I was like I didn't have money, right? This is a big moment, right? And we're about to cash. And I'm tanking, like, to cash this tournament.
Yeah.
And obviously, Powers had all the money. Like, he's just like, hurry up! And I'm, like, trying to cash this tournament.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I cashed the tournament, whatever. And I thought that was, like, the correct thing to do, right? Because that's what they teach you, right?
I still think that's the correct thing to do.
Right, but then... Fast forward 3 years later, I have a little bit more money. I'm like, hey, can I play your game? He's like, fuck no.
Okay.
You know, like,
we might have heard this story once or twice.
We heard it.
From Chad's side.
Right.
When you were,
and I respect it. I was like, okay, I'll have to earn my way back. Like, I get it completely fine. Like, but yeah, so there is a lot of that. Like, when you're first starting, you're trying to eke out all the little pieces of EV. And you don't get the long-term picture, right? So it's like...
It's weird, though, because sometimes I wonder if you don't try to eke out all of those little bits of EV early on, maybe you don't get to make it to the long term.
Maybe. We all have survivorship bias. Like, everyone does. Like, we've all run good in some spot to, like, get to where we at, and then it's like...
For sure.
So yeah. Okay. Can you cook?
No, although I will say, like, during the pandemic, I did actually cook a little bit. My whole thing is, like, I can't justify cooking for myself. Like, I don't enjoy it. I'm not good at it. Cleanup is a whole thing. Like, why would I? But with that said, if I'm, like, around friends or if I have, like, a partner, then yeah, like, I'm happy to, like, wake up and, like, make eggs and bacon. Like, that sounds, like, fucking adorable, you know?
Tell us, like, I remember when you were doing your, like, weight loss kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like you had like I don't know if you had a bet or
it
not,
was a
but
fat
like
loss. I had a bet.
And you cleared out the entire fridge, and I remember the photo of it,
God,
and I was like, wait, does Lynne cook? Like what? Like so tell us about the bet.
To be fair, I don't think my fridge ever had much food in it. But
I saw a lot of alcohol though.
Yeah, there was a lot of alcohol. Like I was determined that like every time I didn't want to go out, my friends would just be down to like come to mine. So I wanted to make sure that like I had something for gin drinkers and something for people who like scotch. It was a whole thing.
Nice.
But yeah, that led to me drinking a lot, obviously. And I kind of just decided like, okay, if I'm serious about this bet, then I need to like make sure that I just don't have any temptations, because I'm that girl where if you give me like a full-size party bag of chips, it's gonna be gone in 3 hours.
So what was the bet?
So I think he started at like 23% or 22% or something. I started at 30%. And we both had to lose 7% of our body fat. For each 0.1% that we missed, it was 1K to the other person.
Okay.
So if we both lost 7%, it's a push. If he loses 7% and I lose 0, I just owe him 70. We had 3 months total.
Okay.
He lost, I think, 10% in the first 45 days. And we did this thing where like you don't have to maintain it.
Yeah.
You just have to like
you
hit
just
it
have to
once.
reach it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a little easier. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sweating it pretty hard.
Yeah.
We were using DEXA scans, which is like I think what everyone uses these days.
It's like the gold standard. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just remember, I think I was like 2.5% off with like 2 weeks ago. And I was like mad.
Wow.
Like, I'm not going to miss this. I'll do whatever it takes. I end up just like fasting a ton and just like eating super duper clean while working out. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, fasting is like a life hack that people don't really know about. Like the whole fasting thing, like causes autophagy, all this like science nerdy stuff that like I'm definitely not the person.
It's so good for you, but it's also so miserable.
It's miserable. It's so bad, especially you have to like cross day 2 and then I heard it feels better, but it's so miserable. All right. I don't think I have anything.
By the way, like, have you made any like weight loss, fat loss bets over the years?
I did, and I lost, but it was worth it. So I got, I think it was like, was it 5-1 on like 5K? It wasn't like big, but I had to lose like half my body fat in a year.
Okay.
But then like the pandemic hit, which was like really hard for me to win it, because it was like all the gyms were closed, everything's fucking closed. Now I'm just in my house.
Yeah.
So, but I went from like 290 to like 220.
That's huge. Let's go.
I still lost the bet, but I was happy to pay the 5K. I was like, oh, my life is like so much better now than it was before. Like, I still have some weight to lose, but it was like, this is significantly better.
That's huge.
You know? And then one of my friends, MJ, was like, we were on Skype or Zoom or whatever, and he was like, I had like long curly hair though. He's like, look, I'll give you $2,000, shave that mop off your head right now.
Is this why you have this haircut?
Yeah, so, but he's like, take it right now, get a shaver. I'm like, 2K?
You look good.
I hope so.
I think it looks better, yeah. Props to MJ for coming up with
MJ was just like, I'll give you 2K, and I'm like, dude, I haven't, like, I've had this for like 10 years. He's like, 2K, and I'm like,
this looks so much better.
I'm like, hair grows back, and he's like, no, but you have to just get the razor. And I'm like, all right, bro. Like, and they were just laughing, recording it and shit. And it was, but it was great. It ended up being a net positive.
Okay.
All right, let's get to a little bit of the drama, right?
What are you talking about?
I was scrolling. I was scrolling out there, saw a couple like sucking dick for buying, like. That was. You
gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know.
So.
Sorry, who's sucking dick for Biden?
Supposedly Airball told Berkey, or Berkey told whatever. Somebody's sucking dick for Biden. Anyway. All right. So, first of all, let's talk about what your. You have a new podcast with Airball. What's your relationship to Airball? Like, you guys are good friends. Like, how long you known each other?
Yeah, so we haven't known each other all that long. First met him here at Hustler, and I think just like the first time I met him, I just got the sense that like this is someone who just genuinely wants everyone to like be having a good time at the poker table.
Yeah.
But more than that, like I was just seeing him like anytime someone needed to be floated chips or whatever, like he would just like be that guy. I've gotten to know him a little bit better since we've started like working together on this project over these last few months. And like credit where it's due, he's given me a lot of really good advice.
Good.
Like I don't think I would be playing on Hustler as often as I am. I might not be playing on Hustler ever, like if it wasn't because of him. Like I just like mentioned like, oh, like I don't really know how to like get on like the stream and everything, and he was like, just do this, and like just like, and his advice was literally like, just talk to Ryan. But yeah, like overall, like he definitely has his like shtick and his antics, but I think he's just like a pretty good human.
And I agree. Like I've spoken to Airball throughout like months.
Yeah.
You know, even through the whole thing, I'm just like, dude, I like you. So like, he's like, I like you too. He's like,
can he be obnoxious sometimes? Absolutely.
Of course. But it's like we all have our own thing, right? Like, so okay, so talk to us about like what. Obviously, you and your group knew about the bet, like when it was like coming out with Berkey. What do you like? Not who do you like? Obviously, I know who you like, but give us like the behind the scenes of what was happening throughout this bet. Like,
yeah, like so. First off, I'm potentially like, I don't know if I'm privy to more or less than what people think. We definitely talk from time to time, but also like. It's like I'll get linked some tweets and then all of a sudden I'll like rage quit because I'll just be like, no, like I can't think about this any longer. I was pretty surprised to hear this like come about, and also like Matt and I have been like kind of sort of friends for a few years now, depending on the month. Mm-hmm.
I've been there for some of that.
So like. I guess when I heard that it was happening, I was potentially a little surprised, but I also didn't like really care to bet it. It also like doesn't surprise me that this is something like Matt would say yes to. Obviously, like right off the bat, just calling things how they are. Like, I love Nick as a human. Do I want to light like a portion of my net worth just betting on him at evens? Like, no, fuck no.
Right.
Like this guy,
evens
like clearly, there's.
Because it's a toss-up anyway. At even money. First of all, if you could get a price, it's always good.
Well, yeah,
right?
But it's like not really a toss-up though. Like literally, like you have an amateur in one hand who can spaz until absurdly hard. Like we all saw the way he played 2 weeks ago. And on the other hand, you have a high-stakes pro who like has been doing nothing but playing high stakes and making his training videos for the last like decade.
Yeah. That's fair. I think the price is justified. I think the price is justified. I'm saying the price is justified. I'm not saying it's not.
I'm not saying Matt plays impeccably, but him and I have played a fair few hours, and I don't know that I've ever seen him tilt particularly hard. I don't know that I've ever seen him tilt, like, period.
He's not a tilter. I've seen you tilt.
Everyone's seen me tilt. I tilt on the daily. Just like click on my Twitter that day, and like if I tweeted the last 24 hours, I'm probably tilted.
So what do you think are the probable like outcomes? Do you think someone could lose $2 million in this thing, or?
So I think there's a lot of probable outcomes. I mean, like, let's call it what it is. First off, there was a chance they still don't play. We're 2 days out.
That's true.
I think they're likely to play. Like, but like, if someone gave me 10-1 on them not playing, like, yeah, like, do I think
there's a chance 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Right. There's a chance that things fall through, etc.
I guess the other thing is like, so I think the one outcome that I would hate to see is if one of them were to like quit up. I think that's like impossible on Nick's side, and I would hope Matt doesn't ever do that.
Well, they have to play 100 hours.
Yeah, they say this, and at the same time, like, so like during like quote unquote negotiations and all of that, like I think Nick had the impression that once like Matt agreed to this, he was just always playing, and I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. Like,
oh, that's fair.
I think things can fall through for a variety of different reasons.
Yeah, I mean these things are very sensitive, right? Like,
yeah,
even the small. What was your take on Ishan sitting behind Nick?
So I think that got like a little bit like misconstrued. It wasn't like Nick was just like, oh, like I need my emotional support human by me at all times. I think, and I shouldn't get to speak for Nick.
Of course.
But I think Nick fundamentally views poker like pretty differently, where he just views it as like a very social thing.
Right.
So to like have people hanging out with him while he plays makes it probably like a fair bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And maybe it helps with his ADHD. Like I know for a fact he's been talking to like Nick Austin, who apparently is like Madison Beer's boyfriend or whatever, and like he wanted to come watch. Like, is Nick Austin going to be like this like super sick heads up pro telling Nick all like the strats and like the real time like exploits or whatever? Probably not.
Yeah. So Nick is doing it in good faith. He's just like, listen, I just want someone to hang with me. Like, he's not like Phil Ivey where he has like the genius behind him, like, you know, like reading the cards.
It's just like such a social thing.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like, do I get where Berkey's coming from? Like, yeah, like at the very least, like it could be like a distraction. But I thought just kind of the way it went down was like fairly.
You think Galfond has a difficult job arbitrating this whole thing? Like,
yeah, but like, also like I'm just gonna like say what I'm thinking, which is like, what was Matt saying, like thinking when he like picked A, where it's just like you guys like agreed on an arbitrator, and then now like this guy's asking you like, hey, do you want me to make decisions? And Matt's just like, no, like that to me seemed a little like petty.
Yeah, I think when you pick an arbitrator, it's just like whatever they say goes kind of thing. Like generally it's kind of like how it goes. But it was amazing to watch Phil Galfond's responses. Like it's just like someone's like, go suck dick. Oh, you bitch. And he's just like, all right, guys, well, it feels like we've reached an agreement. It's just like, what, Phil? Like, I just need to, it's like, he's just incredible. All right.
That's pretty funny, yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about any of that stuff?
Well, if we still have a couple of minutes, what is your take on the whole thing?
I think with the price, I like Nick. With the prices, I think, look, it's, I personally think, like, with the price, I'm betting Nick. Like, he's super aggressive. He's always going to cover Berkey. Like, he's not going to let Berkey breathe. Like, it's going to be bet, 3-bet, 4-bet. Like, Berkey doubles, Nick covers. It's like, it's breathless. Like, so I like Nick in that. With the price, I like Nick. I probably like Berkey a little bit. Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm a fan. Like, you know, when I'm out there and I'm here, everybody's asking me, I'm like, look, I'm watching just like y'all. Like, Berkey's my friend. Nick's my friend too. Like, I'm chilling. Like, you know. But yeah, that's my take. I'm excited about it. I think. I wish it was streamed just like everyone else, right? Yeah, like, it's just like, sure. I want to see this. Like, I want to see every hand. I want to see. Let me get 3 million. Like, I want to see that. That's the, you know, like, you only see that in like the private game, right? Where it's just like, the waitress comes with the sheet and she's like writes down 3 million. All of a sudden, 3 million's on the table, you know?
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I'm a fan. Like, that's the thing about poker. Like, I'm still a fan. You know, like, no matter how much I play, I still love it. All right, let's do some word association.
Can't wait.
I haven't done. Okay.
I feel like I'm walking into a trap.
Nah, I've kept it easy. All right, Gazzy B.
Good. He's a good reg, crushed me, and, well, he managed to get some of my money in the ACR bet. But yeah, he's just good at poker.
Airball.
Spazzy.
Cheating.
Crazy.
Success.
Fortunate.
Scammer.
What's that? What's a scammer?
Bike.
2 wheels. Sorry, I'm not sure.
Backer.
Bad.
Okay.
Bad move. Don't get to backing.
That's
You
it.
heard it from me.
That's all of it. I don't have anything else. I don't know if Ryan, I don't even know how long. I probably should have put a clock on this.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll keep talking until they tell us to stop. But yeah, like, what have you been up to? What are you busy with?
I've been playing Bellagio and Win a lot. There's a game that goes on, usually starts at 11 every day with Boston Jimmy. He plays a ton. And after that, I've just been like investing money. Like just like firing off into stocks I don't.
Flex.
No.
Christian has money to invest. Are you guys hearing what I'm hearing?
I have money to burn. I'm just like, well, is this gonna go up? No. Is this going up? No. Everything's going down. I bought a house at the peak. Now it's going down. Like everything's going down.
Okay, wait. So I have some questions for you then.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously you were/are part of the Solve for Why team. How's like all of that going? What's your relationship to Berkey these days, etc.?
Yeah, it wasn't public information, but it's fine. It's completely fine. My relationship with Solve for Why is no longer.
Okay.
And that's a very recent thing that I was going to announce at some point. But here we are, the great Lynne G, breaking news. But yeah, like that was a really good time with them, and it was great, throughout my period with them, and I learned a lot of both business and personal stuff. But yeah, now we're moving on to other stuff. Like,
okay, cool.
So yeah, no, it was good.
So you have like a nice third-party objective view of the entire situation.
I've always been objective of everything. when the whole thing's like, I'm just like, look, I think let's just look at it for what it is. But yeah, no, I've tried that to be objective as possible, because it's like, it's hard out there at Twitter, man, And sometimes, when you're associated, sometimes you catch some strays for your boys, like every now and then, like Polk makes a video about you doing some squats you can't do, and you're out there, and I'm like, yeah, dude, all right, man. You got to catch one on the shoulder for your boy,
I think one thing we can all agree on is like no one wants Doug Polk to make a video about
when he comes at you, he's coming so hard, and it's like, okay. All right, I got it. I deserve that one. Sometimes you catch one for your friend. It's all right. No, but it's cool. It's been such a wild ride. It was fun to see it.
So focusing on cash games for now.
Focus on investing and then cash games.
Okay.
In that order.
Are you planning on playing the series at all this summer?
World Series?
Yeah.
Last year I played 3 events. This year I'll play maybe 1 event, and that'll be the main event.
Okay. That'll be fun.
Because the cash games are so fun. It's just like, when you're out there, it's like every day, Maybe I'll just get a job. Where do you work at? That's where I need to go. You're like a VC?
No, so I work for King Henry.
Nice.
And we underwrite business
Nice.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
All right, I'm applying.
I'm sure they would love to have you.
Application.
So.
I don't know, he was pretty tilted at me yesterday. No, he wasn't tilted. He was fun. He was cool.
Yeah.
He was just bodying the shit out of me. Every time I bet he raised, and I'm like, fuck, I'm out. He's tough.
He is tough. So I'll say this, I was so surprised when I walked into his office and I just see 30 people in there or whatever. Because I think most people thought that he was just this pro or an undercover pro that didn't actually have a real job.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold,
he's actually in finance.
Yeah, who would have guessed?
Yeah, Lynne and Chin work for him.
So you're still doing your kind of fat loss, weight loss thing at the moment?
So on Tuesday, I'm going to this place called True North, which is a 10-day water fast.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm a little bit.
So they don't feed you for 10 days?
No.
You're paying them to withhold you food.
Well,
oh my God.
I'm paying them for me not to die. That's what I'm paying. It's hey, make sure that I come out of this alive. And if I need to stop, make sure I stop,
Okay.
But yeah, that's the only reason I'm going. Because I thought about it doing it on my own. And I'm just I'm a little bit scared to do something like that. What if I just faint? So I'm going there, they do blood work, they do the whole thing. And then we'll see. In 10 days, maybe I'll come back and I'll be a little bit better.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. And I also think that's super smart. So I'm like kind of doing like a fat loss, weight loss thing again. But
Nice.
like something I noticed is that I am just cold all the time. Sometimes I stand up too fast, so now I need to hold on to something for 5 seconds while like probably just as a result of low blood sugar and everything.
Yeah.
So
Have you done blood work and stuff like that?
I've had to get some blood work done because I have like a prescription for Accutane, and everything seems like pretty fine. I still have yet to get like a full-on panel though.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. How much more time
Give us some time.
Okay, what were some of your like highlights with Solve for Why? What were like some of the milestones?
At season 1, I punted like 8 buy-ins on Poker Out Loud. I was tilted out of my mind.
Yeah.
We played one. We played some about that. The highlights were really just like, all the Poker Out Loud stuff was fun. Like it was fun. I punted a bunch. I won every other season, and then that's it.
That sounds pretty like consistent. We love consistency.
Yeah, but the wins were like half of the losses.
Okay.
So at the end, I still lost.
So you've decided to stop investing in Poker Out Loud sessions.
No, I still. Well, yes, recently, but I lost enough. I've invested. I've contributed. I've contributed to the community.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, now I just play on the. Not on the side. I still play a lot. Like I'm still playing like professionally, I would say. And then. But I still I want to do other stuff too, so I try to balance.
I feel that way
I try to balance those two things. And then yesterday I played here. I did good. I hit a lot of gut shots, and I made 50,000. That was fun.
It's a lot of money.
Throwing that into whatever it is that will stock. That'll. I brought my friend Jamin with me. He's vlogging with Gazzy B.
What is Jamin's channel? YouTube channel?
It's called the Drawing Dead vlog.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like very different than all the other vlogs because
he animates everything.
And it takes him forever. You know, because like a lot of vloggers, like they outsource their stuff, and that's cool. I think you get a lot of volume that way. And then he's just like grinding it. I'm like, bro, more power to you. And then the beautiful thing about his thing, I mean, maybe at some point he'll jump on this another day.
No,
but it's like
cool.
The reason he did it is so that his daughter can go through the vlog and literally see what he was doing. That's why he puts so much effort into it. It's not even for the views or whatever. He doesn't care. It's literally because he wants a storybook in a comic book version of his journey in poker, which I'm like, bro, I wish I was as good a person as you. Like, you know, like I don't have any kids. I don't have nothing to give a journey to.
But I do think that's one thing that's cool about like doing anything in the content creation space is just that like you'll have something to look back on.
That's what I do want to. I want to end with that.
Yeah.
Your goal of this podcast. So I saw the first episode. I thought it was awesome. It was you, Ishan, Blank Check. And Airball, of course.
Yeah.
And I thought it was awesome. Personally, because I love Blank Check, and I'm just like, I love all of you, but I like Blank Check because I'm just like, he's such a rarity, right? Like we don't know where he's from. I don't know his personality too much, and I love seeing like all of you like outside of the poker world, right? But tell us your like plan with it. Like, what's the plan?
So I think it's gonna be a little bit more poker vlog style, or maybe a mix between poker vlog and podcasts. Like on one hand, we're not like really filming around like a ton of locations or whatever, but on the other hand, we're not just gonna like sit there and I feel like we want to talk about poker hands because at the end of the day, we're poker players.
Yeah.
So I think so far it's mostly just like a passion project. We're kind of like interested in seeing where it's all gonna go. But on the other hand, like it's fun working with guys who have so much fucking personality.
They do.
Like, you can say a lot of things about Nick. He's not boring, that's for sure.
No, he's not boring.
And then Ishan in his like monotone, like droning voice, like he hits us with like some strategy here and there, but also he's just like the voice of reason. Like me and Nick would be at each other's throats by now, should it not be for like Ishan, like
I could see that. I could see that. Ishan told me that he like sings.
If you check out his Instagram, I think his Instagram is like the Brown Ball or something.
Yeah.
So I actually bought a lesson with his singing coach because I thought that'd be super fun.
Yeah.
Haven't like scheduled it yet, but yeah, is that something that you would want to do?
Yeah, I would be down.
Okay.
I would be down. We could do something.
You should. Like, I think it's important where, like, especially if you're taking a step back from poker and you have like more time on your hands to kind of just pursue various hobbies. Like,
no, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's do it. I'm booking it. I'm booking it. Ishan, hit me with the contact. Like, I'm in. I'm in.
I can send it to you as well. But yeah, what else are you interested in trying besides investing now that you
investing,
have more
fasting.
bandwidth?
I'm doing commentary today. I really enjoy it. It's like I've had Ryan always gives me like. I did the first $1 million cash game on Live at the Bike. No experience.
Oh, wow.
He said, "Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go." Then it was like, Rampage came in, bought it for like $1 gazillion.
Yeah.
He was like, "All right, Chin, go in." And I'm like, "Bro," like he's like, "Oh, by yourself, by the way, no one, just you." And I'm just like, I'm like, "I've never done it by myself." He's like, "You'll be fine." Then I get up there, I have like a. I'm like, "Hey, do we have ads?" He's like, "Oh yeah, here you go." I'm just like, "Ryan, you just trust that I can do all this?" But it turned out great. So I do love doing the commentary. Hopefully I can do a lot more of it.
Yeah.
So those things really, like just a little bit of the fasting and everything, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
But I am super excited to watch you play today.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bunch of compliments. You look great. You're going to play awesome. I'm sure you're going to put somebody in a really tough decision because you always do. Every time you and I play, I'm just like on the river like, oh, here we go, another 150%. I call, Lynne, I call. I call.
You're good. Jack. Pair of jacks? Is there a jack on the board? No, jack high.
But it was a pleasure. We got to wrap up so that we can start the show. But I appreciate you. You're awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Oh, more talking?
Chat Pro. Slow roll. Never fold. Raise it up. Chat Pro. Slow roll. Never fold.
Raise it up. Chat Pro. Slow roll. Never fold. Slow roll. Never fold. Slow roll. Never fold.
Raise it up. Raise it up.
Chat Pro.